What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of World of Warships. This is the Katori, the reward ship for the Tides of March event that is currently running. At the date of me recording this, it is only March 8th, so it's only taken me about 8 days to get this ship, give or take. I haven't played any battles in it yet. I just outfitted it. With commander points, you come with only 5 points with it, but it is only a tier 3 Japanese cruiser, so do what you want. It appears to be leaning towards an AA cruiser, but, well, it's only tier 3, so it's not going to be particularly good at that. So I've elected for the Direction Center for Catapult Aircraft, give me an additional Catapult Aircraft, because it does come with one. Expert Marksman, and, well, that's really about it. I have 2 points, so I'm going to play a couple games, hopefully get my 3rd point, and once I do that, I'm going to buff the probably the AA, or maybe I'll do the Torpedo Acquisition Range, or the Torpedo Servicing. Its main battery comes with 2 of these double-barreled 140mm cannons, and with all my upgrades and everything on it, has a reload rate of 7 seconds, 180-degree turn time of 18.6 with the commander upgrade fitted to it. It has secondary guns as well. It has one rather, of this double-barreled 127mm cannon on the back. There is modules that you can put on this ship that will buff your secondary guns, but really, what's the point? You have 1 secondary gun. It does double as an AA gun as well, so there is that. But again, at tier 3, this is not really going to be a really strong anti-aircraft ship because, you know, tier 3. Torpedoes, it does have torpedoes. It has 2 of these twin-barreled 533mm torpedo launchers on each side, 7-kilometer range, 57 knots. Not too bad. 7-kilometer torps on a cruiser at tier 3 is nice. I'm used to my German cruisers with their 6-kilometer torps, or God forbid the Russians with their 4-kilometer ones. You're going to be dealing 9,000 damage with these torpedoes, so that's pretty nice. As far as the modules, I'll show you the modules real quick. It comes with, you can get an aiming system modification 0 on this. I've never seen that. I don't know if it's something new that I've just never noticed before, but it gives me a bunch of stuff down there. You can read all that. That was really the only option. And then, of course, damage control. It's just your usual modules on there. It comes with a fighter and damage control body, of course, you know, so pretty straightforward. This ship really, I've got to do some research and see what the story of the ship is. From what the in-game screen here tells us, it tells us it was a training cruiser of special construction with marginal armor protection and rather low speed. Despite her modest dimensions, she carried an onboard aircraft and torpedo armament. The cruiser's main guns were augmented with dual-purpose guns and automatic AA guns. Maneuverability 18 knots. Wow. Let's look at the Mikasa. So this is Mikasa speed. Holy shit. Oh, man. Oh, this is going to be fun. Well, not too bad. Matchmaker could have been worse. Only 1 carrier to worry about. A bunch of battleships, though, and they're all tier 4 except for that South Carolina. That's going to be a problem with my 18-knot speed, but whatever. I'll make do. I'm not a big fan of this map either. A lot of players don't really know how to really handle this map, so that's something to take into account as well in a low-tier game. But the first thing I want to do is go over the historical history of this ship, because that's something that I've gotten away from in a lot of my World of Warships videos recently, and I really want to continue that because that's what really drives my interest in games like these. The Katori-class cruisers were originally ordered to serve as training ships in the 1937 throughout 1939 supplementary naval budget. With the Pacific War, however, they were used as administrative flagships for various fleets, such as the submarine command and control, and to command escort squadrons, which the Katori has performed over the course of its career. The ships were upgraded as the war progressed with additional anti-aircraft guns and depth charges. On the 11th of November, 1941, Vice Admiral Mitsumi Shimazu, the 6th Fleet commander, he commanded submarines. He convened a briefing of his commanders aboard the 6th Fleet flagship, the Katori, the ship you're looking at right now. The attack that was being planned aboard the Katori was the attack on Pearl Harbor. Katori departed for Truk on the 24th of November 1941. At the time of the Pearl Harbor attack, the Katori was in Kwajalein in the Marshall Islands. Katori returned to Truk by the end of 1941, and on the 3rd of January 1942, Vice Admiral Shimazu held a briefing to discuss the details of his invasion plans for Operation R, which was the invasion of Kaving and Rabaul. Rabaul is a township in the East Britain province on the island of New Britain in the country of Papua New Guinea, and Kaving is the capital of Papua New Guinea province of New Ireland. It's the largest town on the island of the same name. On February 1st, 1942, Katori came under attack at Kwajalein in the Marshall Islands by Douglas SPD Dauntlesses of carrier VB-6 and VS-6 and Douglas TVD Devastators from the cruiser carrier USS Enterprise. Vice Admiral Shimizu was wounded in the raid, and the Katori sustained enough damage to warrant a return to Yokosuka for repairs. The ship returned to Kwajalein in May, where on the 24th of May, 1942, the new Admiral of the 6th Fleet, Vice Admiral Vice Admiral Marquis Tashwina Komatsu, we'll call him Vice Admiral Komatsu, ordered Captain Hankiyu, he ordered his detachment of midget submarines to stage the attack on Sydney Harbor. The Katori briefly returned to Yokosuka in August of 1942 for upgrading with the twin Type 96 25mm anti-aircraft guns, which you can see fitted just in front of the bridge of the ship. It then returned to Truk, where it continued to be based, with occasional returns to Yokosuka. On the 21st of June 1943, Vice Admiral Takeo Takagi assumed command of the 6th Fleet submarines, but after the fall of Kwajalein, the Katori was reassigned on the 15th of February 1944 to the General Escort Command. Now it's time to talk about the demise of the Katori, and what a demise it was. In the American attack on Truk on the 17th to the 18th of February 1944, the American Task Force 58, with 9 aircraft carriers supported by 6 battleships, 10 cruisers, and 28 destroyers, launched a massive attack on Truk. Katori had departed Truk shortly before the attack, escorting the armed merchant cruiser, the Akagi Maru, the destroyers Miyakase and Nuwaki, and the mine-sweeping trawler Shunao Maru No. 15, towards Yokosuka. Yokosuka was their destination. But they came under attack by Grumman F-6F Hellcat fighters and Grumman TBF Avenger torpedo bombers from the carriers Yorktown, Intrepid, Essex, Bunker Hill, and Cowpens. Akagari Maru was sunk, and the Katori was hit by a torpedo which did minor damage. However, several hours later, Task Group 509's battleships New Jersey, Iowa, along with the cruisers Minneapolis and the New Orleans, and the destroyers Bradford and Burns, spotted the Katori group and opened fire. Can you imagine opening fire on this ship with a fucking Iowa and a New Jersey battleship? Like, my God, not to mention the New Orleans, which is in the game. The Minneapolis, I'm assuming, is a variant of the New Orleans, but holy hell, talk about being outgunned. The screening destroyers fired 6 salvos of torpedoes at the Katori, which already was listing slightly to port and on fire amidships, but all torpedoes missed. The Katori responded with a salvo of torpedoes, which were equally ineffective. At a range of 14,500 yards, the Iowa closed with the Katori and fired 46 16-inch, that's 406 millimeters, high-capacity non-armor-piercing rounds, and 125 5-inch rounds, straddling the cruiser with 8 salvos. The Iowa reported that the Katori was hit with her 2nd salvo. Just after the Iowa's 4th salvo, the Katori quickly listed to port, exposing 7 large holes about 5 feet in diameter in her starboard side, one under the bridge about 5 feet below the waterline, another amidships about at the waterline, plus about 9 small holes elsewhere along the hull. The damage on the port side was much, much worse. After being under attack by Iowa for only 11 minutes, the Katori sank stern 1st with a port side list, about 40 miles northwest of Truk. A large group of survivors were seen in the water after she sank, but the Americans did not do anything to recover them, which is pretty sad. The Americans, I know, did have a lot of hatred towards the Japanese during World War II, and for good reason. The American people felt that we were snuck up on and ambushed, which we pretty much were. So there was a lot of hatred felt towards the Japanese soldiers during World War II, and you could argue for good reason. The Japanese were not known for being very honorable and respectable opponents. The horrors and the atrocities that they committed against the Chinese, let alone the Bataan Death March and everything else that the Japanese were known for during World War II. You could argue, make the point that they didn't deserve mercy, they didn't deserve cruelty, but I can't imagine a worse fate than being left out in the cold ocean to drown, freeze to death, die, being eaten by sharks. You know, God only knows the multitude of ways that you could die being stranded out in the ocean. Not a good way to go, and not a very respectable thing in my eyes for American sailors to do, but it was a different time, and I certainly was not there, and I'm not one to judge. Well, that was about it for the historical information on the Katori, and well, we're pretty much wrapping up this video. We're in the closing moments now in my first battle out in the Katori, and my initial impressions, she's alright. I like to think I held my own pretty good in this battle. Stalking an Arkansas beta is probably not the best thing I could have done in this ship, but I felt like, you know, I needed to try and get a kill here. I needed to, you know, push this ship to the limit, and with those 56-knot torpedoes, I was easily going to be able to outrun that Arkansas with my torpedoes. But unfortunately, I'm only able to score one hit on him with the torpedoes. But he is on fire and flooding, so his days are numbered. As I bite the dust, not too much longer later, he's gonna meet his end as well. The Katori is not a bad ship. I won't say it's a bad ship. The torpedoes are quick enough to do the job. The guns fire fast enough to really harass the enemy, and I won't say it's maneuverable enough to survive some tricky situations, because it definitely is not, but I can't complain. It's a reward ship. It's a pretty good Tier 3 cruiser. You can't say very many Tier 3 cruisers have fighters on board, which I did not get the opportunity to use in this battle, but, you know, it's whatever. Not impressed with the ship, not happy with the ship, but I don't hate the ship. It's definitely going to be something I'm going to play again, and it did earn me a respectable chunk of change, 143,000 credits. Not too bad. It is only Tier 3, so, you know, take it for what it is. That will just about wrap up. Oh wow, I damaged a lot more ships than I thought I did. I was really trying to go for that Langley there, but unfortunately not able to secure the kill on that sumbitch before he got behind that island. So yeah, that just about sums up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give it a like down below if you liked it. Comment if you got a comment or a question for me and all that jazz. And as always, have fun doing whatever it is you're doing out there, guys. Do it to the best of your ability, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.